So you want to write a book, but... okay, no, cut the music. Today's gonna be a little more serious than usual, but that's because this week's topic is more serious, believing in yourself as a writer and creator. This is separate from motivation, as really that's ultimately on you. You have to be the one to keep yourself going when the going gets tough. Likewise, this is also different from inspiration, which in itself really isn't all that important when it comes to writing and can often serve as an excuse to let your motivation wane. Writing is a much harder career than people give it credit for. Not only are you being vulnerable in creating entire worlds, characters, and stories out of nothing, but you're also sharing them with the world and opening up both your work and yourself to the world for criticism. Not many people can handle that, hence why creatives often struggle with learning how to handle criticism in the first place. Lately, I've seriously struggled with this. The thought of people panning my book across the board is enough to make me consider just giving up altogether. But I have decided to take some of the criticism I've received, integrate it into my story, and aim to improve it. And even if my book turns out awful, I will continue to write. So now, I'm going to give you some advice on how to keep moving forward as both a writer and a creative. First, you need to understand and accept that you are not your work. You may put your heart and soul into a project, but that project does not reflect your value as a human being. If people wind up hating it, that doesn't mean that you are worthy of hatred and contempt. Second, you need to learn how to identify subjective versus objective criticism. Both are different from outright hatred, which is purely destructive. Subjective criticism refers to something subjective that the reader doesn't like. That's to say, an element of your story whose quality is up for debate and is more a matter of personal taste. Objective criticism, on the other hand, speaks to the actual quality of your work. Perhaps the way you convey exposition or a certain plot element, or the way you write a character that either makes it hard for the reader to enjoy that character, or alters the way you mean for the character to come across. Thirdly, you have to remember that you, as the creator, are God. You are capable of fundamentally changing your story to improve it, no matter how entrenched these flaws might be. It might take a while, but it's possible. Likewise, you have the ability to allow these choices to remain so long as you know for a fact it's meant to be that way. You are the one with all the power. It may not feel like it, but what you're doing is something most people wish they could do if they had your strength. And really, all of this is to say that it is okay to feel unsure of yourself. It's perfectly human, and addressing this insecurity head on will help you in the long run. Eventually, you'll get to a point where all of this no longer bothers you. That's to say, you won't be ready to throw all your work into a fire and then bathe yourself in the flames of your failure at the slightest provocation. It'll take some time, but don't let this discourage you. If you love writing, and it's what you're meant to do, then keep writing, and fuck what anyone has to say about it. With all that said, if you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for further writing tip videos because YouTube hates creators. All the info for my book, Patreon, merch, etc. is down in the description below. I really hope this was able to help you even just a little bit. I know it helped me. I'm the Unicorn of War, and this has been a shit show.